10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And we are live. Good evening, Tim. How are you?
I'm good, Juanita. How are you?
I'm doing so well. Thank you for joining us here at the Meticulous Moments podcast, where we facilitate community upliftment through leadership development. I really appreciate you making time for us this evening. And without further ado, I'm going to read your bio to the audience so that those that are not acquainted with you yet can learn more about you.
All right.
Tim Burt makes commercials that make money. With more than 30,000 ads to his name, including Toyota, Burger King, South African Airways, Jack's Links, and countless small businesses, Tim's ads have sold well over 500 million in products and services globally. After leaving a 25-year radio career, 16 years with CBS Radio St. Louis, Tim now runs his ad creation service, Tim Burt Media. In 2021, Tim invented the QR market, the QRmarket.com. In 2022, he devised that shoppingchannel.com. Both products have been called revolutionary sales and marketing breakthrough platforms. Tim has spoken around the world, written 3 books, still produces about 300 ads per year, and is based out of St. Louis, Missouri. Welcome, Tim. We are in great leadership hands this evening.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. I had the privilege of meeting you in New Jersey this year in America, and that was such a wonderful experience. And I wanted to ask you now, you are the creator of the QR market. I wanted to ask you, where did that spring from? What are the origins of the QR market? How did that happen?
Yeah, it's a funny story. Well, it's a funny story. It's one of those. Before I tell you how it happened, all I can say is I wish everybody on this planet could have that moment where everything converged. You had a lightning bolt, literally a severe lightning bolt moment that changes everything for you.
Yeah.
I really hope this happens in some form for you. This was, I was having lunch with a woman that I used to work with at CBS, and she was in sales, and now she sells TV. She sells television advertising. And I asked her, I said, what is and we were sitting in a restaurant, and we were sitting in a booth, and there was looking up on the wall facing me, there was this big TV screen, and I was just staring at it I don't know why. And I asked her, I said, what is the main issue at your job? And remember, she sells advertising on television. And she said, speed. I said, what do you mean speed? She says, from the time she prospects a business to maybe advertise on TV, to the time that they sign the commercial, they write the commercial, they get the commercial made, and it goes on the air, that entire cycle takes a month.
Oh my goodness.
And that was the reaction. Same reaction.
Wow.
So there is absolutely, I said, we've got these things glued to our hands. They're HD cameras.
Yeah.
I said, there is absolutely 4K cameras in some instances. I said, there is absolutely no reason it should take that long. Mm. And the more she kept talking, I thought, you know what? I'm going to sell more than one thing. I'm going to use QR. And so I literally just had that moment where 30 years of everything just kind of meshed into 1 second. And I had this vision. And as soon as I got home, I started frantically researching to see what was available. The QRmarket.com was available. Yeah. And so jumped on that. Got a hold of a trademark attorney, copyright attorney, and started that process. So I mean, this happened very, very quickly. Now the thing is, if you go to the qrmarket.com now and you look at the demo, which I have to update, even
Yeah.
that demo, which is 4 or 5 generations old, because I've changed it, but it's still very similar.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like the original vision that I had. So what you see now is a lot better, but it was the kind of the foundation of what I saw in my head when I put that into practice. It just didn't work because I had the QR codes too close together
Yeah.
and just didn't work. So that's why I
Yes.
had to move them out to the corners of the screen. And once I did that,
Yeah.
that's when everything really changed. So
Amazing.
yeah, just that moment. Nothing else. I'm telling you, there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
And I just really hope that if you're watching this, I hope you have that someday too, because
Yes.
it's incredible.
It is incredible. The first time you and I had a virtual coffee last year, I think somewhere we met through the CLA, and you showed me the concept and you showed me the QR market, what you developed. I was just amazed. I couldn't believe it. It is mind blowing and it is the future, and we all definitely need it. And what stands out to me was I call them penny drop moments. You had this penny drop moment where everything just made sense, and you didn't procrastinate, you didn't put it aside, you didn't say next week. You actually went and you did something immediately. And that's something that really, that is noteworthy, because sometimes we have wonderful entrepreneurs and they have these great ideas, but they don't act on it. So, and that's why you've come so far. Yeah.
The universe loves speed.
Yes.
I don't know where I heard that. I don't know who said it,
Yeah.
or if it's written. So it's probably written somewhere, but I just remember hearing that, and
Yeah.
it has stuck. And yeah, when that all happened,
Yeah. It was like,
I just stepped on the gas and went. And here we are. Here we are making money on it today. So
that's fantastic. Fantastic. Tell us about your journey in advertising and in marketing. I've listed your websites here below for the audience. Please take note of the websites below. Visit them, contact them. But tell us about your journey, your favorite parts of your journey, because I see you make a lot of ads. And I was wondering before we got on StreamYard if you have a favorite ad that you've ever done, or are there too many?
there are too many, but I will tell you that the favorite ads are the ones that have made the most money.
Oh, that makes
Well,
sense.
think about it.
Yeah.
If you're in business,
Yeah.
okay? Even if you're watching this right now and you own a business,
Yeah.
if business is a game, money is how we keep score. Yeah?
Mm-hmm. True.
Okay.
Yeah.
If that's the case, the ads that made the most money, those are the winners. So I have an ad that was from about 5 years ago. It was for a very niche agricultural product. It was for cows, believe it or not.
Oh,
And we did a $2,000 ad spend and on Facebook, and ended up making about $500,000.
my
So
goodness. That's a
yeah,
return on investment galore.
that's not too bad.
Wow.
It's like, would you spend
Not too
2,000
bad.
to make 498? Yeah,
Mhm.
okay. Yeah.
It's a good day.
Yeah, it's not bad. Not bad. Uh so yeah, the favorite ones are the ones that generate an increase in traffic, web traffic or foot traffic, money, that move the needle.
Yeah, that's true.
Does that make sense?
That serve their purpose and that do it well.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because that's what they are created for, to sell. And that's a good thing.
Hey, I love these people that say, you hear people all the time say, well, I hate commercials. Well, that may be true. And then people say, well, I pay to stay away from commercials. Yeah, okay. I get that. The people that have, you have Netflix, for instance, Juanita.
Yes, I
Okay.
love it.
Yeah. Okay. You have Netflix. Let's say you have Disney Plus or Hulu or any of these streaming services.
Yeah.
The people say, well, I buy these streaming services. I subscribe to these streaming services, so I have to watch the ads. There are ads on there. You just don't realize that they are ads.
That's true. That's true.
Product placement, that's an ad. Promos for other shows on Netflix, like when you're on Netflix and all of a sudden, coming soon to Netflix, it's the blah blah. That's a commercial.
Yeah,
it's a commercial, and but it's not dressed up that way. And so these people have to sit through these terrible ads. There's a lot of blame to go around, but the thing is, the average person will read, hear, or see about 10,000 different ads a day.
A day? My goodness.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. Wow. That's a good number.
Think about how much time you spend online.
Yeah.
Think about, well, so when I do my live seminars, I throw that number out. I say people get about 10,000 ads a day. And some people say, oh, no, we don't. That's impossible. I say, okay. And I ask, so then, let's ask people, how many of you drove here today? Hands go up. Okay. How many billboards did you see on the way over here? Oh, can you name one? Because I guarantee you probably saw about 40, 50, maybe 100.
Yeah.
How many signs, how much signage on trucks or lorries or cabs did you see promoting something? Whoa. How many bumper stickers did you see with the Apple or whatever logo,
Yeah. It's all over the place.
Those are ads.
Yeah.
Whether just because it's not in a 30-second TV commercial or a 15-second radio commercial or a 5-second YouTube thing doesn't mean it's not an ad.
That's true. They come in various shapes and forms. I saw this phenomenal YouTube clip. Just in short, they actually brought these artists into the same design room and they were going to format something for a marketing team. But before they drew a sketch before they brought these two artists to the venue, but they put marketing material, promotional material like a bear and a slogan and different things at specific places, so that when they got out of the cab, they would see this photo. When they were at this stop street, they would notice a word or a number and they said they have a sketch here. They're leaving it in the corner. No one's going to touch it. They want them to, format this ad about some other juice with a bear. And it was astounding, Tim. What they drew was almost 100% similar to what was already drawn on the company's paper, because they had used specific places to place specific things so that would go into their subconscious, and they almost had the same ad without speaking a word to each other. How wonderful is that?
Yeah, it's astounding. When you think about what the brain processes. Anybody has between 5, 7, or 9 short-term memory slots that are filled with something at any one time. And for something to be, pulled that fast and put into one of those slots and stay there. So to move from short-term to medium-term memory, there's a medical term for it. I don't remember what it is, but ironic.
I also don't know.
but for it to stay there. But for it to stay there and then them recall it later without prompting, it's pretty powerful. The brain's kind of amazing. So it's what we do. I mean, we
create.
Well, we manipulate people into persuading them into buying our thing. Let me show you why my thing's better. Let me show you why you need my whatever thing. A lot of people don't they don't view it that way. And I still maintain, with all the iterations of ads and platforms that have come up in the last 15 years. One thing is always going to remain the same. The person who can tell you why you need their product the best and the most succinctly is going to win. It doesn't matter if it's print or if it's a video. If it's
Mhm.
a hologram, I don't care what it is. Whoever can do that the best, you're going to win. You're going to, it's like we talked about money. Money's how we keep score, So,
That's it. That's the game. That's marketing, and we need it because we need to let the economy rise, and we need to empower people, and we need to educate them on these things. And I know you've been in business for many, many years, and I wanted to ask you, what's the hardest lesson you've learned in business? What was something that you think back to, and you're like, wow, I went through that, but I made it. I lasted.
oh, wow. That's a great question. The hardest, um, I, I go back to that. I go back to that quote from Ronald Reagan during the Cold War.
Yeah.
Trust but verify.
Oh yes. Oh yes. That's a
A
good
lot of
one.
people. How many people? Oh, you know this, Juanita. How many times have you, or anybody watching this, if you've gone to an event and you get the euphoria, this high, this dopamine hit of, oh yeah, we got to do something together. Let's collaborate. And then when you walk out the building, it's gone. It's gone.
Boom.
It crashes. And then what do you do? And now you try to call the person or oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and it never happens.
Mm-hmm. I know that. That's the truth. Trust but verify. I love that.
It's
That is an
true.
absolute phenomenal quote, and that happens often because not everyone's genuine and not everyone's authentic. Unfortunately.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
yeah, and to piggyback off that, trust but verify. And so, how do you verify? Well, get it in writing,
Mm,
you know, or or
yes.
get it in writing, and
Record it.
or record it. If you're doing a Zoom call, record it, and they know it's being recorded. Okay,
Yeah.
so and then you can lay out. Okay, we're gonna do this on this date. This date, you promise this. Got it? Okay. Look, I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not your lawyer, but what I'm saying is, I don't know, that may be admissible in court, but at least you've
Yeah.
got some backup.
Yeah, you can keep the person accountable for their words and the proposed actions that they would take. And unfortunately, we live in a world that is just shaped that way. I grew up, your word is your honor. And I'm still that day. I'm still like that because I learned it when I was young. My word is my honor. If I say I'm going to do something, I'll do it. Come hell or high water. But not
Yeah.
everybody is framed that way. We all have different morals and values. So unfortunately, the world is a very diverse place. I agree with you. And you know I wanted to ask you about literature. What do you like to read? Because you have a very interesting niche for your business. The QR market is not something you see every day. What do you like to read to get that guidance or that edification?
Wow, you're asking some great questions here today. Uh, well, I've been doing this for a number of years,
Yeah.
and there's these people say, "Well, I read a book a week, or I read whatever." Look, that's probably great for some people. I don't know that I could do that. Me personally, I,
Um, I love
um,
to.
me personally, I like hopping on here
Yeah.
and picking a search engine
Hmm.
and finding out. Uh, it's just type in anything,
Yeah.
elephants
Any
or
topic for research. Yeah. Yeah.
rockets,
I
you know.
always tell my son to do that. I tell him if he doesn't know something, I say, son, just Google it. Google knows everything.
Yeah, well, yes, but they can skew, and that's the thing. And that's another discussion
A
about
little bit.
Google skewing. But honestly, I would rather go to like an encyclopedia site, not Wikipedia, but that's skewed as well. Um, but just independent, third party,
Yeah.
non-paid, unbiased. Give me that. That's the pure information. Like, you want to talk about pure uncut info? That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't want stuff that's got a slant to it. I
Mm-mm.
want the truth, no matter how good, bad, ugly, indifferent, whatever it
Yeah.
is. That's what I
Yeah.
want. And I try to learn something new every day
Mm.
about
That's
something.
important.
That's why I love
Yeah.
I love trivia shows.
Yeah.
pub quizzes, I think is what they call them over there.
30 seconds.
Yeah, those sorts of things I love. But I'll tell you the one thing, because I have to deal with so many different types of businesses. I'm an inch deep and about a mile wide. Like, I can tell you a little bit about a lot of different businesses. I can't go real
That's good.
in depth on some things, but I know a little bit to help formulate where the ad should go.
You
So
have that
there's
foundation. You have that foundation, and I mean, we've conversed before, even in Jersey. And you can talk about literally anything. I noticed that you can carry a conversation quite well. That's a skill.
Well,
That's
how
a
much of
skill.
that? Well, how much of that is BS too from being on the radio all these years? But but uh but here's another thing too. If you're watching this, if you own a business, you have to don't be afraid to say I don't know.
Oh yes, I do that often. I'll find out. Yeah.
Especially, well, there you probably run into a lot of people that they're at a big event and they want to look bigger than they really are.
Yeah.
And you're going to get some of these people that oh yeah, I understand. In their head, they're going, no clue what you're talking about. I don't know what.
The
What?
eyes. The eyes go.
I'll tell you what. Sometimes it's you know what? It's okay to say I don't know, and it's okay to shut up and listen.
Yeah.
That happened to me last year when I was at the bowling convention with the QR market. Massive show for bowling alley operators. This show is huge, massive, and just listening to these guys that own bowling alleys was astounding. Just how the workforce is really shrinking, and if you want to make a bunch of money, learn how to do this one skill set that all of these guys need. Like, the average person doesn't know that. They're looking at the guys that can fix the machines that reset the pins.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
They're in short supply. And so just hearing that, though,
interesting.
You would never know that. So it's okay to shut up and listen.
I love that. And we always keep learning. I always tell people life is about continuous development, personal and professional. We never get to a place where we know everything, because we meet people from so many different fields. We learn from them, and it's a two-way street, So I love learning from people and just getting that input. Now, I know you give incredible input to the people you work with, and I'm going to ask you later about your services that you offer and the programs as well. I have heard only phenomenal things about you helping people with taglines for their businesses, giving them ideas for new names. It seems like it's something that just comes natural to you.
It must.
It's just there.
Literally was on a call earlier today with somebody asking me about a tagline for their business, and I said, well, here's this. It just
all the years of experience.
Yeah, it's kind of, I think it's kind of what it is. You're let's see, in South Africa. So, have you heard of Papa John's Pizza here in the States? Okay.
Not yet.
Papa John's is huge here in the States. Massive franchise. Okay. Been around for a long time. Started in Louisville. But this was, I think, it's probably about 20 years ago. And Papa John's was really starting to get big, and they needed a slogan, and they hired, I can't remember the name of the agency, but they hired this high-powered agency to come up with a tagline for them, and their tagline, which they still use to this day, is better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Okay, 6 words, right? Yeah. That's it. Love it. And this agency charged, in the meeting, they charged, Papa John's folks said, okay, well, how much is this going to be? And the agency people said, this is going to be $4 million if you want to use that slogan. And they said, the Papa John's people said, well, we love it, but why is it so much? And they said, look, it was one guy, forgive me for, I can't remember his name, but he said, You're not paying me for those 6 words. You're paying me for the experience that got me to get those 6 words
True.
together
True.
for you,
Yeah.
in essence. So don't be afraid to pay an expert, number one. And they still use that slogan to this day. And it's one of those things when somebody calls me up that has a business,
Yes.
I'm looking at it from I have no vested interest in your business.
Yes.
I'm looking for,
Subjective.
it's easy for me to see where the holes are, or to
Yes.
distill down what you do into just a few words. I will tell you, it took, when you read my bio and
Yeah.
it says, I make commercials that make money. It took me a
True.
long time to get there.
Yes.
It took a long time to get to
100%.
that point.
Mm.
So, when you throw out a slogan, that may be it. It may be the basis of something later.
Yes.
It may be a little rough around the edges,
Yeah.
and that's okay.
That's amazing. I mean, I know a lot of people that you've helped, to really add that extra pizzazz to their business, to their taglines, to even the name changes and rebranding. And you say it took a long time, and I realized that I also want to add that was a lot of hard work as well, because that's years and on top of years, honing your skills, working with people, giving your best, letting your creative juices flow. It's a lot of work. How
It
many years?
is. I'm going on 30,
It's a long
31
time.
years. Yeah.
It's
Um,
a long time.
and I've found, if you're watching this, you own a business and you're trying to figure out, when somebody says, what do you do? The question I always ask, and the question you should ask yourself is,
Yeah.
we all hit this point, is we're trying to explain something and people are saying, well, I don't get it. Inevitably, you will hit to this point and you will say, what I'm trying to say is, and then immediately whatever follows that, there's something goes on in your brain where you've distilled it down to its most basic core thing.
Yeah. Wow.
And we've all sat in these terrible meetings where somebody's yap,
Monologues.
and then literally, and they're going, you can see the other party is someone, what? And it's like, we're doing this. Oh, got it.
Yeah. Break it
We're
down.
doing.
Yeah. Make it smaller. Yeah. That's good.
You know what? I always said with the QR market and shopping channel, it's about a bigger culture. But you've yeah, honey, you just hit the nail on the head when you said make it smaller. That's so great. That is so great. I don't think you realize how great that really is.
Oh, thank
I'm writing
you.
that down because that's good.
That's
That's really good.
Oh my goodness. Anyone out there that once said it's going to cost you $4 million? I'm just joking.
I'll give you a discount.
I love that. I love that, and I also realize that you love what you do. And I think that is why, and I know that's why you are successful in what you do, because you love what you do. It's important for us to get into that entrepreneurial space where we are happy. I was on a call with I was in Marilyn Morales' show Unscripted, and she asked me what is my definition of success. And I said, never, no one's ever asked me that, but just immediately it just came out, and I said happiness to me. Because if I'm happy, I'm successful. If I'm happy,
Yeah.
I get up in the morning, I give my day my best, I can achieve all my goals and my dreams and my visions because I'm joyous on the way there. So I want to ask you for your definition of success. What is success? What does that signify to you personally?
See, when you were just laying that out, I'm thinking she's going to ask me what this is, and I don't have a good answer for it. Kind of like you, haven't really thought about that. Definitions. Well, aside from the ads that that make money and improve, here you go. If what I do can improve someone else's life,
Beautiful.
or other people's lives, because let's look at this from a triangular thing here, okay? If I do an ad and it does really well, and it leads people to this business, and people buy stuff from this business. Okay, this business owner is going to make money, but this person over here, they're going to get what they want. Okay,
Yes.
and then they're going to tell this the sales are going to go up here, and it's going to come back up to me. Like, that ad was really great. So it's a
It was a successful day.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a if everybody gets what they want, within reason, of course, but if the
Yeah.
business owner makes more money, they get a return on their investment. The person who buys the thing or the service,
Mhm.
they get what they want, and they get more, and they're thrilled with it, and they're so happy that they're so happy they can't even the whatever they spent doesn't even matter.
Yes.
They're like, I would do this again in a flat second. Well, it's $5,000. I don't care. Doesn't matter. If
I
everybody
agree.
wins,
Because if the business owner wins, of course his employees, they win, their families win, the customer wins. So that's a great answer. I've never thought of that. That's a
and then
successful day.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, but then what? Well, let's think about the aftershock of that. What's the business owner going to do? He's going to say, business owners talk to other business owners,
Mhm.
and
Circle
inevitably
up.
they're going to talk about marketing, and they're saying, "Oh man, this guy Tim, or that Juanita, you got to talk to her. She is unbelievable. I get more, they get more, they get what they
Everyone
want. Everybody wins.
love that.
That to
That
me,
that's the heart
that's
of
success.
business. Wow. That's amazing. That's the heart of business. That's what we do. We want everybody to win. I love that you have an amazing, amazing life philosophy, business philosophy. And I want to ask you, I know you work many hours, but I'm sure you take off over the weekends as well. What do you like to do in your free time? Do you ever take off or not?
Not
No.
really. Um, if I take all, I do like going to and when it's American football season, I do like going to games. Um, but I honestly, I'm so busy filling this up
Yeah.
with stuff
Creating,
because I know
creating,
because
creating.
it's gonna come in handy later.
Yeah.
We just don't know when. You know.
Yes, but it's there. Do you
Yeah.
have many notebooks or do you type it down? Because I have
Oh
like 8
God.
notebooks floating around my room with notes.
I've got a notebook back there, one over there. The thing that is, I was showing this to somebody the other day. The
Yeah.
thing that let's see if oh yeah, here they are. I have this horrible habit, Juanita, of index cards where I write
Oh,
stuff down on index cards,
yeah.
and then they're all
You don't know where they
they're all
went.
over the place. You know, yeah. So just type, because typing actually there's
I think it takes me longer.
typing's not bad. I mean, if you need to type something out quickly, you don't have access to a pen right now, but studies have shown that if you actually write something out, if you write it down, it actually burns it into the brain. It's a stronger connection.
Oh, that's
So
interesting.
that's
Yeah.
why there's a lot of people that have the notebooks.
Yeah. I was on the sticky note phase. Then I was on the phase, even on the serviette, I would write stuff and find it months later in my handbag. Then I went into the notebook phase, and now I've started to narrow it down. I have a notebook for every area, that I'm dealing with. So one notebook, if there's a note, I write it under that division, because otherwise I write over things and I can't remember what I wrote and where I wrote it. So it's just, it
Yeah,
gets to be maddening.
it can. It can.
Yeah, yeah,
And the thing is, everybody has their own
yeah.
method that they find
That
works for them.
is,
Some
yeah,
people love the whiteboard. Some people the
yeah.
index cards, just because I use index cards because I was using
Yes,
those in radio
yeah.
25 years ago,
Mm,
where I would
yes,
like write down what are we talking about in this break? Real big letters, almost like a cue card.
yeah,
The guys would hold the cue card. That was kind of a cue card
yeah,
device,
yeah,
and but everybody has their thing.
yeah.
You've
That's true.
seen
That's true.
little
And tell
journals
me
or
about the football. Tell us about the football. I want to know who you support and who's your team and how did they do? Does that look like the Eagles?
no, that's the Cincinnati Bengals. That's where I
Oh,
grew up. I grew up in Cincinnati, and that's where I'm from. And we came within one game of going to the Super Bowl this year.
well, that's still good.
And we went to the Super Bowl last year and lost in the last minute. So
Oh, it was close.
we're
It was
we're,
close. Just
we're
almost there.
so
Just
close. Yeah, but
yeah.
that's my team. That's what I do. That's who I like to root for. And yeah, you don't have American football over there. You don't have American baseball over there.
No.
You do have cricket. I know cricket's
Yes,
big.
we have cricket. I love cricket and I love rugby. And when I
Well,
was in the States, I watched TV games, some of your games on the television. That was amazing. Yeah,
American football is very similar to rugby
rugby.
to
Yeah,
to a degree.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's we just wear our guys have the helmets that are pretty,
Yes, they
or
protect
whatever.
the important parts, the face and the head. I think South Africa should consider those because, I mean, at the speed they hit each other and tackle, my
It's pretty
goodness.
crazy.
Yeah.
It is pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
I want to ask you, Tim, what's next for you? And after this, I would love for you to also include your services, what programs you have running, how we can support you and uplift you as the Meticulous Moments community. So, what's next? What's upcoming?
Yeah, thank you. What's next is thatshoppingchannel.com. That is that so
Yes.
when you see the QR market, if you go to the qrmarket.com, you will see how that works. That is the backbone of that shopping channel. So that shopping channel, and people say, well, what is that shopping channel? I want to give entrepreneurs and business owners who have no shot or who never thought they could get on QVC, Home
Yeah.
Shopping Network, Shop HQ, any of those TV shopping channels. I want to give them an outlet. And it really boils down to, I'm tired of looking at American flags that are made in Malaysia. I want stuff that's real. I want heirloom quality stuff. I want knowledge that you can carry with you for the rest of your life and pass on to your kids, your grandkids. I want stuff that's real. And so I want entrepreneurs, business owners who have something that's real to sell,
Yeah.
and in a way that does not exist on this planet until now. So what we're going to do is, if much like you and I are chatting right now,
Yeah.
so if you're watching on your screen and you can see we're side by side here,
Yes.
that when you go to that shopping channel or QR market, the stuff in that center box would be this. So it's going to be a hate to drop a name, but a Joe Rogan style podcast, uncensored, unfiltered.
Yeah.
It would be, Juanita, tell me about your product. Because if you had a product to sell in there, here's the thing, you're going to be able to sell it far more and far better than I ever would. So this essentially becomes an infomercial on steroids for you. And they can get that offer. They can get that, the little QR code up in this corner of the screen or wherever it is. They can get that anytime that you're on for that whole hour, actually. So I'm going to have different hours. I'm going to have, 1 hour is going to be for authors. 1 hour is going to be for health and beauty. 1 hour will be for lifestyle, workout stuff. 1 hour will be recipes or whatever it is. So each hour is going to be something different. So I have four guests on every hour selling 4 different things. Wow. So everybody gets a square.
Everybody wins. It's everybody a win.
All the way around.
I love that. And the courses that you are giving at the moment, do you have any courses running? I know you have phenomenal courses. You had a stunning one going last year for the Black Friday sales that day.
That's coming back. That will be coming back. Black Friday's coming back. And I'm going to be promoting that a lot earlier than I did this year. The one that I have coming up right now is Booked on Media. We're wrapping up a class right now, and we're going to be firing up another session of that here on March 10th, I think. So in about a week and a half or so.
Yeah.
And then we'll be doing it again in May. With the May session will be with a very, 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 very special guest. I can't say who. Can't tell you who right now, but it's a very special guest. So you can check out bookedonmedia.com if you want to see how we can get you on TV and sell more stuff. And that's with myself and Bruce Serban. And so that's coming. Shopping Channel's coming. Black Friday will be coming. I mean, it just doesn't stop.
Yeah, and we don't want it to stop. We love what you're bringing to the world. Thank you for making it a better place and for helping business owners really to scale and to find their feet and to build on the foundation and the passions like you mentioned. You know, they're passionate about what they create, and that's why they're the best at selling that. So you equip them to do that. You give them that exposure. And I know you have a heart of gold, and it was lovely as always to speak with you during this hour. And I just have one final question. Do you have any words of wisdom, any message you want to leave the audience with today that you think might, just carry them into this week?
Just keep going. Keep going. Just keep going. It's okay. You might have to slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
It's okay. Just don't come to a complete stop.
Mm-hmm. That's
if you have to slow down, it's okay. It's okay.
Take a break.
It's okay. But just don't stop, because if you stop, the energy required to get back up to speed,
that's the truth,
can be quite tremendous. So
that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Tim. I appreciate you. My words of wisdom, which actually came out here while I had an awesome conversation with my good friend Tim, was make it smaller. If you're facing an obstacle, take yourself out of the situation, make it smaller, and find your answer. So thank you so much. We appreciate you, the Meticulous Moments audience. We are going to follow you, network with you, and cheer you on this wonderful journey. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I'll see you soon, probably in March in St. Louis.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Hope to see you then. Thanks, Juanita. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening. Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hi, my name is Jose Escobar, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Connected Leaders Academy. We're the #1 fastest growing community and tribe of some of the highest level entrepreneurs all around the country and around the world. We're in 36 states across the U.S., in 11 international countries, and over 240 plus members, growing every single day. And I'm honored, excited, and I'm glad to say that I'm proud to be the official sponsor of the Meticulous Moments podcast with Juanita Kapp. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm excited for this journey.
Hey everybody, my name is Patrick Rude. I'm the owner of Rude Financial Services, a proud sponsor of the Meticulous Moments podcast, hosted and directed by the beautiful, strong, and intelligent Juanita Kapp. I cannot tell you enough about what this woman has done with this podcast and the effect that she has had on me and all of the other sponsors and people that listen. Don't miss it.